Today we are looking at how we crochet this very textured and sort of three-dimensional stitch. It's the same on both sides, so it can be used either way. It may look complicated, but in fact it's very easy. And after the first 2 rows, you just repeat the same thing over and over. It's soft and sort of almost spongy, and it's ideal for projects like blankets, especially baby blankets, and also for scarves and shawls and ponchos. Because it's so thick, it's a bit of a yarn eater, but because of that then it's warm and soft. Some years ago I made a baby blanket using this stitch for one of my grandchildren, and my daughter used that blanket for a long time on that baby. The stitch looks the same from both sides, and after the first 2 rows, all the rows are exactly the same from both sides. And I have a flat edge on both sides, but you could leave that out if you wanted to. The type of stitch that it is, it's good to have a hook that is certainly not too small. So if you are trying to decide between 2 hooks, then rather take the bigger one. So let's start this. I will work with Aran weight yarn. This is 75% wool, and my hook is 4.5 millimeter, or this is a Clover Amour, and it actually says 7. Normally they have a letter, I haven't noticed that before. Well, anyway, 4.5 millimeter. But you can of course use any yarn as long as your hook goes with it. So we start by chaining. If you are making a blanket, you might want to use a different type of start instead of the normal chain, like a foundation single crochet or I-core chain. I'm linking both in the description. But here I'll just make an ordinary chain. This stitch needs multiples of 5, and then for that edging 3 on both sides. So multiples of 5s, 5 plus 6. But for samples I rarely count stitches, I just make a chain, and if I have extra stitches I pick them out afterwards. Okay, this is enough now. And first just a couple of stitches of that edging, a double crochet, and I'm using American crochet terms, into the 3rd chain from the hook, as well as the next one. And this foundation row and the one after we only do once, and then from the 3rd on it's repeating. Now we skip 1 and 2 double crochets in the stitch after that. Two, chain 1 and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And this is actually what we repeat with no chains in between. Skip 3 and 1, 2, 3 and a double crochet into the 4th, and another one in the same stitch, chain 1 and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So it looks like this at first. There's no texture to it yet. And the same again. Skip 3, 1, 2, 3 and 2 double crochets in the next one, chain 1 and 2 double crochets in the next stitch right next to it. And this is what you repeat then. If you have a longer chain now, you repeat that until almost to the end. Now I have extra stitches there, I'm just going to leave them. And now I'll do the edging here. Skip 1 and a double crochet in the next one. And then I'm doing the last stitch the way I normally always do, to have a straight edge when you are using double crochets. and that comes when you are putting 2 double crochets together. So first crochet like that and leave it, and then another one, and now that you have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through them. So that ensures just that it will be a straighter edge than if you just made 1. Then chain 2, turn, and now because of the height of the stitches, we will always have half double crochets at the start of a row and double crochets at the end. It's because the very textured stitches sort of shrink it a bit. So if we only had double crochets at the edge, it would start curling out. Half double crochet in the same stitch, and then another one in the next one. And now we are starting the pattern, but this row is still slightly different from all the ones after. No chains, and we are going to work into these 2 stitches on both sides of the chain we made. And we need front post double crochets. Yarn over, and then front post double crochet goes so that you go under the double crochet you are going to work into, like that there. And otherwise you work like a double crochet, like a normal double crochet. So it sort of lifts it up a bit. Now into that there space under the chain we had 3 normal double crochets. 3. And then a front post double crochet in that first of those 2 there. Yarn over and hook under the entire stitch. And finishing it off. So this is what we repeat on this here row. Yarn over, and again find the 2 on both sides of that chain space and under it. Like that, and then 3 normal double crochets into that chain space. And the next one also under that front post double crochet. So work like this until the end of this row, except I'll stop then before the edging there. Here, and now at the end we will always have double crochets at the end of the row and half double crochets in the beginning. So there's 2 stitches left, double crochet in the first one, and then again this when you put 2 together in the last stitch, leaving them like this and then pulling the yarn through. Then chain 2 and turn, and half double crochet in the same stitch and the next one. So that's just the edge. And now the row we are starting now is what all the rows from here on will be like. So in that sense it's a very easy stitch because you quickly learn it by heart. So it can be sort of relaxing, repetitive crocheting. And now the way we worked with the front posts, there are clearly 3 double crochets here, and the other 2 are further back. And we are only working into these 3 that are sort of higher up here. And first, a front post double crochet into the first one of those 3. Front post. So this is again slightly higher. And then the middle one here, 3 ordinary double crochets into that. 3 double crochets. And then the third one of these here, it's in here, and for that again a front post double crochet. So that forms this here shape that's quite three-dimensional thick. And then we do exactly the same into all of them. I'll do one more here. These are the next three, and then front post in the first one, then 3 in the middle one, 3 normal double crochets, and then a front post one in the last one, which is in here. Like that, so we can see how it's starting to form now. So finish off the row. I only have one more here. There, and the end again, double crochet and 2 double crochets together in the last stitch. And from now on we'll continue exactly the same. I'll still show the start of the next row. Chain 2, turn, half double crochet in the same stitch, and the next one. And now the way the stitch works, we always have these 3 here, sort of higher up, and we don't worry about the stitch at the back. That is the front post we did on the other side. So front post, three normal double crochets in the next one, and front post in the third one. So this is what you repeat to whatever size of a project you are working on. So I hope you will try this stitch and enjoy it. And by the way, there's always people asking if I'm wearing something handmade. I'm also linking the tutorial for the stitch in this here shawl that I'm wearing. Till next time.